He will live to regret cheating on me. Story time. So I was with this boy for 2 years before he cheated on me at a party. He had gone to this party with all of his guy mates and I decided to stay at home and study. I'd like to think that I'm quite a trusting, non-controlling type of girlfriend. So I have no issues with him going out with his boys. Thankfully, a girl in my class was at the same party that my boyfriend was at. And at like 1:30 in the morning, she sends me a video of my boyfriend dancing with this other girl. Then the video just progressively gets so much worse. He starts kissing her and then she starts to lead him away. Bless, this girl was so apologetic. She kept apologising for not stepping in and stopping him. I just kept saying that this is his true colours coming out, so there was no way of stopping him. I was collecting receipts. The next morning rolls around and he comes over to my dorm. He's a little bit more lovey-dovey than he normally is. But I was not holding back. I confronted him about what had happened the night before. And I tried to give him the chance to tell me the truth. I tried hinting that, oh, but like my friend from class saw you there, like how was the night? And still, he gave me nothing, so I whipped out the big ones. And I have never seen anyone dive off the deep end with excuses quicker than this boy. He was saying, oh, it was just a mistake, I was drunk, I didn't do anything with her as a sister. I was having absolutely none of it. So at that point, I took myself over to his dorm and I took back everything that I'd left there, everything he had given me. And whilst I was bagging up my stuff, he was begging me not to leave. So once I returned home, that is when I started planning my revenge. So he comes from a really religious family. So much so that relations before marriage is off the card. Containing any sort of substance is a no-no. And he heavily relied on his parents to pay for his college, any spending money he needs. And he didn't have a job, so he was reliant on them for money. So I started to compile some pictures of my boyfriend together. There is pictures of him smoking with his friends, a video of us doing shots in New York, him chugging a beer whilst playing beer pong, and then for the grand finale I finished with the video of him cheating on me. I then sent a copy of this video to his parent, to his auntie, and then just about anyone else who held authority over him and his family. The results came in quick and they were immaculate. Literally that day he was pulled from university and he was forced back home under a state of house arrest. And he was only allowed to leave the house to go to his community college classes that he'd enrolled in. And he just completely lost the ability to have any form of fun whilst at college. I know this because one of his old guy mates actually angrily messaged me. He said how it was my fault that I ruined their plans to get an apartment next year. I mean, to this day, I have absolutely no regrets. It was so easy, he just should never have lied. And that is why cheaters should be shown absolutely no mercy. Am I the arsehole for telling my brother-in-law the truth about my sister? So I have a sister and we'll call her Amy. And I found out recently that her boyfriend Steve wants to propose. Me and my sister have always had such a close relationship. But there is just this one thing that I think people should know because it might change their opinion of her. Amy is a diagnosed sociopath. When we were younger, she started to showcase these disturbing behaviours. And after a little incident towards me, my parents decided to go get some help. Throughout all her time at school, she got in so much trouble. She'd be getting told off for lying, being cruel to other students. So as she grew up, she got a lot of therapy and now she's doing so well. She received an official diagnosis at 18, but we had all suspected it for so much longer. She's got a really good job now, amazing friends. She lives a really positive life. And oh my god, Amy gets male attention. Amy uses the dating guide like it's the bloody Bible. She just has this way of keeping people obsessed with her. So let's take it back to Steve. Her and Steve have been together for almost a year and a half now. And Steve is literally crazy about her. He is such a nice guy. He has a really strong relationship with me and the rest of our family as well, which is so nice. Steve is super kind and intelligent, but I just have this doubt that Amy doesn't actually love him. In the past, you know how sisters are, me and Amy would always talk about boys. And she's been very open about the fact that she doesn't feel love or empathy for literally anybody. She even admitted that when one of her best friends died, she didn't even get upset. She just kind of put it on to make it seem like it was all real. And in her words, she felt pretty neutral about it. She's also stated that she literally doesn't feel guilt about anything she has ever done in the past, and Amy has done some pretty bad things. She has said, in truth, and I believe her many times before, that she really does love spending time around Steve, and she does find him attractive. But like I say, I really doubt that she actually feels anything for him. So like I say, Steve wants to propose soon, and he has no idea about any of this. And she's also been very honest about the fact that she has no intentions of telling Steve about her diagnosis either. I mean, I do get it. She is just very scared that Steve will get scared away. But I really believe that she needs to tell him the truth before they get married. I told her, either you're going to tell him, Amy, or I'm going to tell him because he deserves to know. And she keeps responding, I know you wouldn't dare tell him. And I would. I really respect this man. Steve definitely loves her enough to keep this relationship going with this piece of knowledge. It's just his decision to make, but he deserves all of the facts. Okay, my thoughts. He 100% deserves to know. Even if it's just because if something happens in the future and she maybe needs support, what do you guys think? This might just be the pettiest thing I have ever done. Story time. So my little brother has a girlfriend who we'll call Amy. And this girl might just be one of the most self-centered and obnoxious people I have ever met. So not too long ago, they came to stay at mine for the weekend. And when they left, Amy left so much of her stuff at my house. Probably because she didn't know where anything was because she left her shit everywhere. Anyway, she left this North Face jacket and then like all of her toiletries. So about a week later, her and my brother ended up moving into their first apartment together, which is all fun and games, right? Wrong. After he paid for the moving truck, the utilities, half of the rent for the month, the girlfriend cheats on my brother with her ex. She then proceeds to kick my brother out of the apartment. So not only now was he broke from paying for everything, but he was also heartbroken and homeless. So at some point, she must have realised that she'd left half of her stuff at my house. Because she started calling, texting, blowing up my brother's emails to see if I could send back half of her stuff. Now, I wasn't going to send them back because of how much she had disrespected my flat when she was here. But my brother was like, please can you just do it? So she gets off my back and leaves me alone. So being the loving and supporting sister I am, I bundled up all of her stuff and put it in a bag together. I was giving that North Face jacket no care or attention at all. I then just wrote a really nice note and I put it in just saying, sorry that it took so long to send you your bits, hope they get there safe and hope you have a really nice future with your new boyfriend. And the note was written in permanent marker. And the paper just so happened to be resting on her North Face jacket. And because it was written in permanent marker, the marker bled through to the North Face. Oh no! And in another turn of unfortunate events, the shampoo cap just happened to be not screwed on properly. And it's just such a mystery of how that could have happened. And then apparently there was a razor in there, which I obviously had no clue was in there. I just picked all of her stuff up off my bathroom floor and put it in the bag. That didn't have a cover on it, so in transport, the blades had made little micro tears in her jacket. So she emailed all of this to my brother. And after that, we never heard from her again. Am I wrong for being upset with the price of my engagement ring? So my fiance is fairly well off. And while, you know, I don't make as much as him, I would certainly be okay if I was on my own. And he's the type of guy that rotates between a few very expensive watches. And whilst we have a very good grasp of financial literacy, we also aren't afraid to spend on the, important things in life. We're also very open about our finances, so I know that he's not in any secret debt or anything like that. So onto my ring. It's a nice ring, but it is more of like a stacker piece rather than an engagement ring to show off. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a little bit doubtful that the stone is even a diamond. To be honest, the stone is quite small. It's just not the heirloom piece that I'd always imagined for myself. So, you know, when people get engaged, there's always the excitement about the ring. When you show people, people get excited, they all coo over it.